Hey Scrabble fans, Will here with another episode of Better Know a Letter. Today we're going to get to know the U. There are 4 U's in the set of 100 Scrabble tiles, and like the other vowels, they're worth 1 point apiece. Compared to the 12 E's, 9 I's and A's, and 8 O's, there are relatively few U's in the set. Let's take a look at how the U stacks up as a bingo tile. At first glance, you can see that it's in the top half of the alphabet, appearing in over a quarter of 7- and 8-letter words. However, when you look more closely, you can see that it's easily the worst bingo tile of any tile worth only 1 point, trailing the L by 10 percentage points. Not only that, when you isolate the vowels from the rest of the letters, the U begins to look even worse. It's by far the worst vowel for bingoing. While it's not impossible by any means to bingo with the U, you'll almost always prefer any of the other vowels in its place. The U doesn't mind appearing alongside the E, but suffers somewhat alongside any of the A, I, and O. The U does boast passable synergy with some of the most common bingo consonants, but its best relationships are with the S and Q in longer words. That's not very helpful to you, since almost every letter likes to be with the S, and the Q is the worst bingo tile of any letter. When you have good bingo tiles alongside a U and can't find a word to play, make sure you do your best to use that U in hopes of drawing a different vowel. While the U can at least be classified as a mediocre or worse tile for bingoing, it is one of the worst scoring tiles in the game of Scrabble. Again, the U is only worth 1 point, which is a poor start for any scoring tile. But vowels are held to a slightly different standard than consonants when it comes to evaluating their strength as scoring tiles. For vowels, key factors include how many high-scoring 2-letter words can be formed with each vowel, as well as synergy with higher-scoring tiles in 3, 4, and 5-letter words. The U forms significantly fewer 2-letter words with high-scoring tiles than any other vowel. The O forms 18 total high-scoring 2-letter words with 11 different letters, and the A forms 15 such words with, once again, 11 different letters. By comparison, the U only forms 6 total high-scoring 2-letter words with only 5 different letters. And only one of these letters, the X, is a power tile. This makes the U extremely poorly suited for parallel plays, which are critical in many situations to boost your score. Looking at the U's synergy in shorter words of 3 to 5 letters in length, the U has mediocre synergy with several high-scoring tiles, including the Y, V, X, and Z, and especially the W. The UW combination is one of the worst in the game of Scrabble. I cover it at length in my video on the W, but in short, whenever you have these 2 tiles together, it should be a top objective for you to get rid of one or preferably both. Perhaps you're looking at this graphic and saying, well, the U doesn't look that bad, does it? But let's see what happens when we compare it to some of the better scoring vowels like the A and the O. Notice that the A literally has no negative synergy with any high-scoring letters in short words, and the O is neutral or better with every tile apart from the Q as well. Now when we return to the U, it doesn't look quite as good. It is worth noting that the U can sometimes be a lifesaver combined with the Q, which can otherwise wreck your chances of both bingoing or scoring well. But with only 1 Q in the set, keeping a U on your rack in the hopes of pairing it with the Q is often futile. While there are fewer U's than any other vowel in Scrabble, there are still 4 of them in the set, making duplication a very real concern. As difficult as the U can be to use on its own, duplicated U's are even worse. Take a look at the total number of 5-letter words containing at least one of each vowel. While the U lags behind slightly, there are still a solid number of words containing a U, slightly less than half of the number of 5-letter words containing an E or A. But when we look at how many 5-letter words contain 2 U's, the U plummets to a fraction of the number of words containing 2 E's, 2 A's, or 2 O's. For this reason, learning words that contain multiple U's is absolutely critical for getting you out of these difficult situations. Knowing these words and others like them can often be the difference between shedding those frustrating U's in one move or dealing with them for 2 or more turns in the future. Okay, let's recap what we've learned about the U. The U is a weak bingo tile. While it appears in a passable 25% of all 7- and 8-letter words, this percentage is by far the lowest of any tile worth 1 point and easily the worst of the vowels. The U fares even worse as a scoring tile, though, appearing in extremely few 2-letter words and clashing with high-scoring consonants in short words more than any other vowel. And while one U is annoying enough, multiple U's on your rack at once can be absolutely crippling. Very few words contain 2 U's, so the UU combination will really damage your flexibility to play both long and short words. I'm giving the U 1.5 stars. The best thing you can say about the U is that it's not fatal to your chances of bingoing, and it can turn that pesky Q into a damaging weapon at times. Otherwise, if you're one of the many players at all experience levels who don't like the U, I'm here to tell you your opinion is completely justified. Unfortunately, I don't have a secret trick to offer that will help you turn the U into a worthwhile asset. When you're choosing between vowels to play to set yourself up for a better future, the U should almost always be the tile you dump first.